light for you in dark places when all other lights go out.
Hey guys, this is Devin here, and you may have noticed that recently I've actually went on kind of a Facebook frenzy with posting a whole ton of events that we have for 2016. So not only is the OSBGL and the GBHL ramping up for 2016's events for the SBG players, but the DCHL is now doing this as well. Of course, we had to plan this out for a while. We couldn't really talk about it too much until everything was already set in stone. And now you'll see about, I wouldn't say 16 different events that we have all the way up until Nova. So unlike the OSBGL and the GBHL, who end their season at December, like a normal year, we actually end ours at Nova at the Grand Tournament and give out our season prizes then. However, we're getting kind of a late start in this, and why? Because we never really had a tournament circuit until this year. So yes, even though the OSBGL is actually really new, they actually had a tournament circuit before we did. The Canadians beat us. So, but it's all good. Honestly, we were putting a lot more emphasis on the boards that we have and a lot of the stuff and their scenarios and things that we were doing in the community. But now we also have our own events and our own tournament circuit all planned out for the entire year, and this is really exciting news. Now we'll have some league finals and stuff like that, showing where the rankings are of our members. Now, if you guys saw in a previous video, I actually have swords and different like prizes as far as models and stuff that we give out for our DCHL winners. Now, most of that was for just general tournaments at Nova or international events. That's really what I was talking about. But the swords themselves actually go toward our DCHL members. Now, anybody can compete in these tournaments. The best part is we follow the GBHL system, which only includes your top 4 events. So for you West Coast guys and for you guys from Chicago and those from Colorado, North Carolina, Connecticut, Boston, it doesn't really matter if you can't attend all the tournaments because we only take your top 4. Simply attending Nova and Cold Wars, which is probably closest to all of you, pretty much fulfills all your events for the entire year. So, of course, the more you do, the better it is that you can do because you have a chance to mess up first. But still, importantly enough, you can compete for the same swords, all those really cool prizes that the rest of the DCHL have. And for those of you who don't know, the swords are Orcrist, Sting, and Narsil, and possibly Legolas's fighting knives, which are on the way, or at least planned. So that's all the prizes for that. This is just for the tournaments, though. So if you look on the website, on our Facebook page, you'll actually see that we have a whole ton of other stuff as far as scenarios, Chaos and Arda, doubles events, battle companies tournaments, and stuff like that. We have, I mean, honestly, anybody's invited. If you show up and you just want to do a Battle for Helm's Deep, which we are hosting, or you want to do a Siege on Lothlorien, which we are building, then you can absolutely just show up and play. We will welcome you into the DCHL community, so be sure to check that out. Now, of course, if you guys don't know, we also have a lot of other events, and I'm sure you do know. I mean, they're obviously the bigger channel. The GBHL are hosting Articon, which we will be attending, trying to rally up as many players in this area as possible, so that way we can get kind of that big following for it. I think it'll be pretty epic. And of course, Nova, for you local guys, would be a lot easier for you. I understand a trip across the pond is a bit tough. So for us North Americans, Nova is the one to be at, which is, of course, our grand finale. I plan on inviting the GBHL again, and hopefully they show up again as well. They'll give their confirmation in their own sort of video, I'm sure. And yeah, I think we have a lot of fun times ahead of us. And of course, since GW is planning to continue this game, they have their own events, which only really goes into showing how much they're supporting this. They have the Tower of Skulls event, which of course Tower of Skulls is not new, but the event itself, Lord of the Rings, the Battle of 5 Armies, which is, although despite the name, it's actually just a tournament. It pretty much is exactly what you'd expect of a normal tournament for GW. But the important fact here is that they are hosting a tournament as well. This is huge. I don't know if it's because they've seen it or I don't know. We have Adam and Trolk and Simon Grant on the GBHL Facebook page, so maybe they've noticed the community's growing. I'm not really sure what this means for the numbers, but certainly GW is doing something different. Now, of course, with Black Friday sales and what else did they do? A lot of different discounts and such that they've been doing recently. The introduction of specialist games, different types of advertisement. I mean, quite a different community we got going on here with Games Workshop, which of course probably means the best of news for us. So go ahead and check out that, guys, all the Facebook pages and events and things that we got going on. I definitely hope to see a lot of you out here. We're going to be having every single board throughout the year at Nova. So if you can't make it, let's say you West Coast guys are like, I really want to see the Lothlorien board or the Erebor board. If you can't make it, not a problem. Come to Nova, and of course, we'll help you out there. And I guess as that final follow-up, Cold Wars, if you guys don't know, is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So for you Canadian players, I'd say if you wanted to attend a second tournament and you wanted to try for one, that would be the one to do it. It's much closer to you guys. I believe it's closer to Chicago and the West Coast Hobbits, who are a newly formed group. You're just far away. So if you can only make one trip, then make it Nova, I imagine. Other than that, though, for you Boston players and the Connecticut players, of course, you guys definitely should come. This is much closer to you guys than normal. So anyway, hope to see you guys soon, and definitely stay tuned for more videos. As you can see, I'm trying to put 2 of these out a day, just constantly pushing them out. We'll see. They seem to be pretty easy to edit, so just talking about different topics. So let me know what you guys want me to talk about, and of course I got already a ton of topics lined up, but of course I want to get in there what it is you guys want to hear about. All right, see you soon.